Hold up, hashtag heels for life. Wanna welcome everybody, yeah, we gotta get it hype. Hey, every week talking wrestling, we get into it. Current events, even guests that we're interviewing. Hosted by Chris, Kid USA, and Nappy Boy. Shout out to Ziggy, put the smack down, you can't ignore. The best you gon' find anywhere online. Tell the competition they about to get clothesline. Hold up, hashtag heels for life. Let's go.
What's up, humans? Welcome to Hashtag Heels for Life Wrestling Podcast, special edition, weekend edition. I am your host, Mr. Team Riggett.
What's going on, everybody? It's your boy, Stu Heyman.
And also in the background, we have the sexy PSX. He is going to be giving his sideline commentary.
Let my voice entice, enthrall, and make you all want to come back for more.
All right. So, everyone, we will be talking about WrestleMania moments, WrestleMania weekend, the Supercard, what you guys think. Now, compared to what happened yesterday, this is going to be a free for all. We're just basically going to be giving you our commentary on just the wrestling period. We're going to be going into detail about Cody Rhodes' situation. What's to come in the next 6 months. I mean, we're going to give you everything. So Stu, where do you want to start off first?
We could start off with Cody's. I believe it was Cody's apology. It was really Cody's apology. But before I continue, I just want to say during this whole entire trip of just wrestling and being with family, it's a real good thing. And so our boy Beast Mode's on there. He's watching right now. There. So it's like, yo, bro, hey man, I can't wait till October. We'll do this. We'll do a round. I feel we should do a round table. And then I
think that'd be dope.
That'd be cool. Mm-hmm. So hold on. So let me get back into character.
Okay.
So let's talk about Cody Rhodes when he first showed up on Monday Night Raw. Everything that everyone expected. He's saying all those good things, but in actuality, if you really jumble up his promo and stuff, it's like, I'm sorry, Vince. I'm sorry. I'm back. You were right. I was wrong. The fact that they're calling him, what is it? The prodigal son?
The prodigy.
Oh, the prodigy.
Yeah.
Wow. Oh, okay.
Now, remind you, before he came, he looked like he looked like What did King used to call Goldust a queer?
He didn't call him a queer. He called
Goldust a queer.
He called him a queer and he called him another word too.
Yeah, but we're not going to talk about that right now. But anyway, just to kind of sum it up, this whole thing with Cody Rhodes coming back, like I wasn't. It's like another AEW like crying game. Like I need your approval. It's like he's reaching hard to get your approval. The same way he did in AEW. Now, a lot of fans out there, the Putty Patrol, will sit there and say that you're mad. Why would I want to be mad at something that I've seen on auto repeat? That's
say putty.
Putties.
Woo!
Sound like on auto repeat, right?
Sound like that.
Yeah. But anyway,
Sounds a little like.
Yeah, sound like somebody sucking dick.
Hey, all right now. We're on Twitch.
Oh, I'm sorry, my bad. Paige is on there too, right?
Yo.
But yeah, he came out there and he was met by Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins did not come out. He actually was dressed like a human just tonight. There was really nothing to really say. He laughed and he
Shook his hand,
and then he went right back out.
They was like, be a man. Be a man. Be a man. But that's neither here. Exactly. Shook his hand. That's neither here. Not here. Cody Rhodes talking about people like, I want to make my dad and my father and my brother proud. Do some things that they never got a chance to do. Let's be the WWE champion. So Cody Rhodes talking about that's what he's going for.
Mm.
He's going for the WWE championship.
So he's not going to be a mid-carder this time. That's basically what he's not. That's basically what he's not pushing for. He's not pushing to be a mid-card this time. He's not pushing to be Stardust, Condust, or whatever type of gimmick he was. I'm just being fair. Now, would he be WWE champion or the undisputed Universal Peacock champion? I don't think. I don't think so. He'll be in the picture, but I don't believe that he's going to beat Roman Reigns. I just don't think so. I mean, we're talking about an AEW guy that came from AEW and coming back to the WWE to be apologetic and now sucking everybody's ass and shit and talk about I want to be in the main picture because I look different now.
If I may.
Yes.
One of my problems, and of course, no one is taking away that Cody Rhodes loved his father, loves his father, and misses him. No one's taking that away at all.
Mm-hmm.
The problem is this is a story told before, and honestly, it felt forced. Comparing it to the promo or the monologue, depending on how you see it, that he delivered to his brother at AEW. Right. What I need is my older brother. That felt sincere.
Right.
That felt, even though it was a tribute to his father, a speech that he had given before, right. It felt sincere. This felt like tears worked before. Let me do it again. It did felt sincere, and combine that with his red, white, and blue lighting, his bright suit, Wanda's has thin hair. Mm-hmm. It's just everything just felt manufactured. I didn't feel anything real about the American Nightmare in WWE as opposed to AEW or elsewhere.
So basically, it was a watch, rinse, spin, repeat.
Yeah, that's the way I put it. The way I put it is, I think he has done his art elsewhere, and now he's here for the money.
Wow. How do you feel?
Okay. I mean, it's like recycled. It's like I said, it's WWE's version of I need my older brother. But I will say this, that he's right. A lot of things when it comes to Cody, Dusty never won the title. Goldust never won the title. So Cody says, you know what? I'm going to make them proud. I mean, I think when he talked about his dad, it was sincere. But
this is the same speech that he's been using for the past 10 years.
Now, he's no longer to be. Ooh, I'm sorry. This is my name, bro. Real boring. He wasn't a pro wrestler. He was now a sports entertainer. So now we see the difference. Mm-hmm. Now we definitely see the difference. At WrestleMania, he was a pro wrestler, but the moment he hit 1, 2, 3, he was no longer a pro wrestler.
So I want to kind of go into this Cody Rhodes situation because I wanted to really talk about it at WrestleMania, but they said, Stu said he was like it wouldn't be really special. So here's my issue with the whole Cody Rhodes. Mm-hmm. Cody Rhodes can do whatever the fuck he wants. That's not my issue. At the end of the day, I'm a wrestling fan. I'm a podcaster. I want what's best for the wrestlers, period. Okay. Mm-hmm. When I say I want them to succeed, I do want them to succeed. The difference between me and the WWE Putty Patrol is that they want to troll, they want to bitch, they want to have the concussion syndrome, pretending that they didn't see what happened yesterday, which was Cody Rhodes was in AEW and saying that he ended like slavery and racism because he has a half black baby. Now all of a sudden he figured the riddle to racism. So now we hear that everything was stripped away from him. Mm-hmm. He was stripped away from being an exec. he was stripped away from his, him staying face, in AEW, and basically pulling one of Triple H's moves, which is the Golden Shovel. And in some of his matches, that's exactly what he did. He was like throwing shots to now his favorite that he's currently sucking up, which is Triple H, which he also used in his promo this evening. So now I'm saying to myself, I'm like, dude, where the fuck are you coming from? Like, I mean, you tell us about the Revolution. I was there. I witnessed that in 2019. I was there. That's why I was invested in AEW in the first place. And the face that said all this shit was you. So you can't expect me to not be upset. And then I had some conversations with my friends earlier today, and it was just like, well, Chris, you shouldn't feel this way because, he's chasing a dream and all this other bullshit. It goes deeper than that. This motherfucker sat up here and dragged a whole entire wrestling fan base because they were screaming for an alternative, and I wanted that alternative. And you told me that you wanted me and you wanted everybody else, millions and trillions of people, to stay in the company because you wanted us to invest in this new young company. 3 years later, you decided to say, oh, I'm not getting my way. I'm not getting my money. So I'm going to go to the same company that trashed me in the first fucking place. How in the fuck do you expect me to feel? I mean, seriously. And now you're on WWE television recycling the same fucking promo that you used for the last 10 years. I mean, I'm not invested in Cody. Now, I will say this. I want to see what he's going to do in the WWE that he did differently in AEW. My theory is simply this. It's going to be a wash, rinse, repeat, spin, dry, repeat. That is what he's going to do. He's not going to do anything different that he did in AEW other than say like, okay, I'm going to show the fans that I'm not wanting the World Heavyweight Championship because I'm an exec. Instead, I'm going to go after the TNT Championship and then put motherfuckers over, which we'll talk about that at a different time. But I just feel in the WWE, he's not going to show no one anything different than what we've seen in the last 6 years. That's it. Any other comments? Any comments out there? If you guys have any questions or anything that you want to say, we will put the link out so you guys can come on here and you can say what you got to say in regarding the Cody situation. Anything that happened in at WrestleMania or WrestleMania weekend, if you want to bring up a comment, you are more than welcome to. But I just want to kind of get that off my chest because I don't respect Cody Rhodes. After all that shit, I don't respect him. I just don't. If you wanted to be WWE champion, then maybe you should have win it another way instead of going through all of these. My nigga, you were a founding father of AEW. You basically dropped everything and you went back to where you came from, the same fucking company that you trashed for years. And I don't get it.
Okay. So let's think this here.
Mm-hmm.
Cody Rhodes got mad because of things that happened his way in WWE.
Mm-hmm.
We can all understand. And so he decided, let's do something differently. Let's go ahead and create a place where young wrestlers, young talent, and things like that can be at.
Mm-hmm.
So let me play devil's advocate. CM Punk showed up at AEW.
Mm-hmm.
CM Punk is not young. So what happens, and this is what if Cody Rhodes was against it?
Against him being in AEW?
Yes. What if the reason being was because he wanted to give the young talents a shine, and he knows how CM Punk is?
So let me kind of counteract that one. CM Punk had put people over in WWE and in AEW.
Right.
Cody Rhodes, on the other hand, had other intentions.
Right.
So with that being said, I think all of this is CM Punk, Daniel Bryan, Adam Cole took the shine away from Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes got upset, got in his feelings, and that's why he went back to the same place that shitted on him in the first place.
Touching on CM Punk, like any other business, you need to be profitable. You need to be making money, and a company lives and dies with new blood. You need, or at least one that has a visual medium. You need to be bringing in new fans as often as possible and holding on to them.
Mm-hmm.
So many people, a lot of fans were waiting for CM Punk to come back. And even if he just showed up that one time, I think that that one night with the ice cream bars wasn't what was enough for AEW to grab and hold on to a lot of fans. The fact that he has stayed since then, I think, has helped out more. Now, however I feel about how things have gone with him since then is neither here nor there.
Mm-hmm.
The end point is, I think CM Punk is capable and willing to put younger talent over. However, the main thing is he still has a name value. So I don't feel like bringing him in diminishes or tarnishes the AEW model of getting younger talent over, because you need a strong name to validate them.
Right.
If it's a young company full of very young new talent, well, who are these people? Why should we care?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Just traditionally, you need an experienced person that the fans care about for whatever reason to say you need to see these people.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a similar thing when CM Punk was putting over Darby Allin in his speech.
Mm-hmm. So let me ask you this, Ian. So do you think that's why Cody felt that his name didn't really have any value, or that his star power was kind of diminishing because of those factors that came into AEW?
I think that could be. I don't think it was necessary. CM Punk specifically. However, I think I could be wrong. I think it over time, as you're bringing more and more experienced people from other places,
Mm-hmm.
I think maybe Cody got a little insecure about his value.
Insecure.
Yes, because think when AEW starts,
interesting.
the biggest name when AEW started was the Elite. Cody Rhodes, Omega, Young Bucks. But now we're bringing in, which is fine, and a lot of people love them, but that's an indie niche.
Right.
We start whether you like WWE or not, it has closer to mainstream coverage,
right,
than AEW ever had.
That's true.
So you got people like CM Punk, some people who don't even watch wrestling know who that is.
Right.
You got people like Daniel Bryan, Moxley, now Adam Cole.
Mm-hmm.
More and more people coming from that big place who not just come from there like Cody Rhodes did, but also thrived there and became a big name, are coming there. And I personally feel like maybe Cody Rhodes felt like he wasn't mattering as much. And if he couldn't get CM Punk money, then he will get it where he can.
Mm-hmm.
But also, I would argue. Sorry, I mean to go on to him. I think in my mindset, thinking back to like the territorial days, I think this could also be a good thing for AEW in the long run. Cody Rhodes going back to WWE, because if Cody Rhodes goes to WWE, because when he left, he was Stardust.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, despite his last name, he was a joke. He goes on the indies for a while. He gets respect. He gets a name. Builds AEW.
Mm-hmm.
He's got a bigger name. Goes to WWE and can potentially be thrown into a heavyweight title picture.
Mm-hmm.
So what is the potential message to these younger talent cutting their teeth on the indie circuit, and then they make it to AEW?
Mm-hmm.
That they can potentially follow in Cody's footsteps and do something similar. Contracts set precedent. Brian Pillman was the first guaranteed contract for the WWF. More people coming in got guaranteed contracts in the WWF.
Mm-hmm.
I think Cody Rhodes coming from AEW and being able to build himself up might be a good thing for AEW, because now you're going to have hungry guys here building themselves a name here to get more money in WWE. And Cody can always go back to AEW. Whether it's a good or a bad thing, I think he can.
I think you can.
But regardless, it will get a reaction.
Yeah. I mean, it worked, obviously. I mean, you know, he set the wrestling world on fire. So, guys, what I'm going to do is I'm going to share the link in here. So just give me a second. And once again, everyone, we're not exactly going in order. We're just talking about what happened this past weekend. This is just a normal conversation. Yeah, this is just a wrestling recap. This is like nothing serious or anything like that of the sort. If you do want a full recap of WrestleMania Night 1 and Night 2, go to our homepage. Here's for Life Wrestling Podcast here on our fan page on Facebook, and you can go and you can look out. Also, you can go on YouTube and any streaming sites available as well. So, oh my goodness. So yeah, you guys can come on, you can hop on, and you can, we can get your thoughts about this as well. I see Kenya just popped in. So we're gonna get him on in a minute. What else did you anything? Roman Reigns.
What part about Roman Reigns?
I mean, I don't know. Like I said, there are so many levels. I know we don't have really exactly a lot of time because we gotta go back to our towns tomorrow. Roman Reigns. Where should we start? He's the undisputed world heavyweight champion.
And he finished it with a fucked up shoulder.
So where do you see him in like 6 months from now?
I don't know. I personally, probably feuding with Cody, but shit, because we haven't seen Dustin in AEW in a while. It's not the end of it. I don't know. I really don't. It's kind of crazy. It's kind of crazy, and where I see WWE putting Roman. Of course, WrestleMania Backlash rematch clause. Brock Lesnar's coming back and challenging it to a rematch.
That's I don't know. Someone's incoherent. I don't know if they understand that repeat matches, especially this one, is just not doing anyone any favors.
No, you're absolutely right. It's
because this is like the 5th, 6th, 7th time that we've seen this match.
Yeah.
This is more than Stone Cold Steve Austin and The Rock. They only had a couple of matches, and I mean, shit, they were in it. Oh, okay. Okay, because I'm just like, what? Okay.
I mean, with all of this Roman Reigns and stuff going on, it's kind of crazy. But you know what? Let's figure out what people want to say. Kenya, how you feel about it, man?
Hey, what it do, y'all? What's up?
What's up, man?
Hey, man, what's going on?
Shit, man, chilling, man. I wanted to give my take on WrestleMania, tonight's Raw, what happened, everything. The thing with the whole Cody Rhodes thing, the whole thing about Cody Rhodes coming back to WWE, there was one thing he said that kind of caught me right there, and caught my ear and everything. He said one of the things about AEW that he didn't want to do was that he did not want to be a 15-time TNT champion. So he didn't want to be TNT champion 15 times.
Okay, so this...
That was one of the things he said, but he did say that he does wish Tony Khan and AEW best of luck because he signed a multi-year deal with WWE and he announced it tonight on Raw.
Okay, so here, this is where I just don't understand. You were in a position where you took yourself out of the title picture. Like you couldn't get any more titles or whatever. I mean, this is what you did.
I honestly think it wasn't him.
Who do you think it was?
I honestly think it was Tony.
So you think Tony did all of this shit?
I honestly believe it.
But he did not say. I mean, if he did say, then why he haven't came out and said it?
You really think a boss is going to tell his tales?
No. I didn't say that. I'm talking about Cody. Why Cody didn't like put him on Front Street about that? If that was true.
Because money talks and bullshit walks. But the thing of it is that you got to remember when it comes to wrestling, certain things you can't speak on because let's all be.
And that's why they got a whole bunch of secrets in the wrestling business because they want to keep things. They don't want to sell it.
But let's really be upfront about it. We all knew Cody was coming to WWE. We all knew it.
Mm-hmm.
What they have to do to keep him quiet, that's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
Because Cody could literally just rip Tony and AEW a new one with like, here's the plans that they're doing. Let's talk about it. Let's counteract it.
Mm-hmm.
He could.
He could still do that.
He could still do it. But Cody is also playing it smart because he's not saying anything.
Mm-hmm.
Because he'll have an opportunity to come back should, once his contract, messes up. He's giving people a chance. And when you really think about it, Cody wrestled when Brandy was pregnant.
Mm-hmm.
Cody wanted to be a father.
Mm-hmm.
Tony was like, I need you here. Everyone thinks that AEW may be a perfect type of promotion, but I didn't say you.
Okay, I was about to say, because there's no such thing as a perfect company.
My point exactly. But because of all these smarts and these
putties,
humans, I'll say that it's because of these humans that because of that they try to make it think that AEW is the next thing to God. But in every promotion, there is a chink in the armor. Tony Khan is the chink in the armor. Why? Because he's thinking as a wrestling fan and not as a businessman.
And?
Because it's a case of screw the rules, I have money. Anything you can do, I can do better.
I have to agree. I really agree.
We can blame. We could say that Cody Rhodes is probably the biggest prick in professional wrestling right now. Mm-hmm. But here's the question: what makes people pricks? The things that make, or you could say, Cody Rhodes is such a dick.
Mm-hmm.
But you want to know something? People erect the dick that you are.
Mm-hmm.
What I'm saying is, people can turn people into dicks because of situations that have happened. So to be perfectly honest, I will say I'm glad Cody Rhodes is no longer in AEW. Why? Because with WWE, you'll get a break.
What break are we talking about then?
Say that he needs time off. WWE will give him time off. AEW didn't give him time off. He was still working behind the scenes.
Mm-hmm.
He was still working while Brandy was pregnant. Hell, they even had her there when she was pregnant.
Mm-hmm.
WWE, on the other hand, if they wanted to get something started, if WWE said, Cody, what do you need? This is what I need. This is how things need to go.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I can't explain why. Vince is like, all right, you can do it. If they can do it for Jericho for his tour on Fozzy, they can do it for Cody.
Mm-hmm. But wasn't he the exec in the back while this was going on?
Desperate times call for desperate measures. The simple fact is because Tony Khan was the leader and he needed people with wrestling history.
But see, here is the issue that I'm having with this.
Mm-hmm.
I think this is where Tony Khan kind of fucked up, and this is where the disorganization has come into play because you use wrestlers as execs and also as talent on screen.
Yes.
So that's kind of like oil and water there.
I mean, and if you want to give a prime example, Kenny Omega.
That's a really good example.
Kenny Omega is a really good prime example. And where was Cody Rhodes and all of that?
Backstage.
Bingo. So if we want to be technical, if Cody wanted to book himself, if it was a Cody Rhodes show, Cody would have been world champion.
So we're gonna bring on some more people. Very, very good analogy. All right, hi Christian and Rocky Reese. Welcome to Hashtag for Life.
Hey, how's it going? Stewie, what's up, Chris?
Hi. Going on. So you heard what Stewie just said. He just basically just put it out there on the table. So what do you guys think so far? Anything you guys want to say?
Hey, there was one more thing that Cody Rhodes kind of put out there for everybody. Well, not for everybody to know, but for WWE to know. Another reason why he decided to go back to WWE is because they said that both Bruce Pritchard and Mr. McMahon, Vince McMahon, went out there to his house to meet him personally and offer him that spot. But he said, I will come back to WWE under one condition. You have to let me be the American Nightmare. Because he didn't want to be Stardust no more. He didn't want to be Dashing Cody Rhodes anymore. He didn't want to live in his dad's shadow anymore. He said, I will come back, but you have to let me be the American Nightmare. So the same character that he portrayed in AEW, he wanted to do it in WWE. He said, if you let me do that, then I'll come back.
All right. Now here's the counteract for that. It's not a character that he did in AEW. It's an indie character that he created after WWE. The problem with it is that Cody Rhodes, if you look at a promo in Cody Rhodes, before Dashing Cody Rhodes, look it up on YouTube, Cody Rhodes did a promo that nobody saw and WWE did not air it. There's one promo that I will always respect him for that. And Vince McMahon said no. I want you to do Stardust. I want you to do Dashing Cody Rhodes. I will put that link. I will send the link in a few minutes. There's one thing I will say, but I'm a fan of Cody. But just the decisions that he made. After he left WWE, he went to TNA and did the American Nightmare. He went to New Japan, did the American Nightmare. This is what people need to understand. AEW was not before any of it. If you want to look at some of these indie wrestlers that had the indie promotions and their indie gimmicks, Ring of Honor, TNA, PWG, New Japan Pro Wrestling. There's certain things that people need to watch instead of watching just AEW or WWE. If you really want to be a wrestling fan, watch indie promotions and you'll know about certain indie wrestlers. Cody did not bring that to AEW. Just at AEW. Cody bought it everywhere because he was tired. Exactly. He was tired of being in the shadow of his father. So Cody went to go find himself because Dusty Rhodes could not find himself. When you think about it, Vince wanted him to be like, okay, cool. Let's put you. He gave him an idea. Vince said, nope. Let's do the polka dots. Nope. Let's do the black woman. Nope. Let's do the son of a plumber. You look at WWE, and then you look at the stuff before WWE, and you tell me if that's the same thing. My thing is, Cody did a good job with saying, I want to be the American Nightmare. Why? Because the American Nightmare was himself. You can keep AJ Styles, you can keep the Phenomenal One, but you can't keep the American Nightmare. Let's have that conversation.
Any retorts?
Yeah, I mean, Cody, he even came through here to Washington State. He wrestled at Defy, where Swerve Strickland wrestled also, who still does. He shows up here in Seattle, and Cody, I think towards the end of his tenure he started off as friends with the Young Bucks and also with Kenny and stuff, but towards the end, I don't think they stopped talking to each other. And I don't know if you remember that tweet that the Young Bucks said, "Thank you, Tony," for when he released Cody, and he said, "Thank you, Tony, for doing that." I guess they weren't on the same terms anymore, so I think their friendship kind of dissolved towards the end. So,
Rocket, your thoughts so far?
Excuse me, what was that again?
I'm sorry, Reese.
Yeah.
Oh.
I was just going to say, like, honestly, should we really be surprised at any of this with Cody going on? Because Stewie kind of had like something major. It is like, we've seen this. We've seen it from Dusty. Why are we not surprised we're seeing it from Cody? Because as much as people talk about, like, if you go way back to the Golden Era, we talk about how much of a politician Ric Flair and Hulk Hogan were at their peaks. Dusty wasn't too far behind them when it came to playing politics. And to an extent, we've seen it from Cody. And to also touch on something else Stewie said, like when he really got that, when he really got the American Nightmare character going, did you find it any coincidence that at the very pay-per-view that he and the Bucks shelled their own money with, Cody wound up winning the NWA World's Heavyweight Championship?
Oh, I remember that.
All this.
So, okay, so Reese, let me ask you a question then. Is Cody Rhodes chasing history for him or his father? Because it seems like he's
making it seem like it's his pops, but it's really for him.
Okay, now here lies the question that I have to ask. Right. Who knows what Cody Rhodes and Dusty Rhodes talked about?
Only just Cody and Dusty.
Bingo. So therefore, we can assume, we could say whatever, but the only people that know the conversation between Cody and Dusty is Cody, Dusty, and God himself.
Because the only three you should know.
Huh?
Those should be and realistically, those should be the only three that should have known.
Exactly. So therefore, we can all say, oh, Cody's doing it for himself. But in actuality, let's be honest here. Everything that he's been doing, he's been doing it for his dad. He went after titles that his father went after. He went after championships and collected the championships that his father has won.
Okay, so then the conversation has to go where AEW plays a role in this then.
Atlanta, Georgia, where everything started.
So with NWA and WCW,
because remember, he also helped out with. This is why. Okay, I would let everybody say this. Here's homework for people. Watch the following documentary, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Paul Heyman, and it explains it because Dusty Rhodes helped out in Davy Crockett Promotions. Cody Rhodes helped out in AEW, another promotion down in the Davy Crockett circuit. If you want to be technical,
you mean Jim Crockett?
Jim Crockett, you know what I meant.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Well, actually,
remember, because a lot of the Florida territories,
which one,
were associated with the Crockett.
That's like way before my
Say
time.
That again?
But go. Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, because go off what you were saying there, Stu, because although AEW's in Jacksonville, Yeah, and to go with that tie-in, because a lot of the NWA territories were up in the Florida area as well, northern Florida area as well.
Whether people like it or not, say what you want about Cody. Cody Rhodes is following his father's footsteps. He's chasing the dream.
But what makes you think that the dream is going to be fulfilled? I mean, this is a very toxic relationship between him and Vince McMahon.
And that's their fault.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying.
However, considering the fact that Bruce and Vince, who does not leave WWE office, decided to go to Atlanta, Georgia, and have a conversation with Cody.
Okay.
That is very mature of Vince.
Yeah, but Vince also has motives.
True.
That's the issue that I have with Vince.
True. And the sad part is, Cody was smart. He said, "You want me in WWE? Cool. This is what I want. You let me keep my theme song.
Mm-hmm.
You let me keep my gimmick, and you give me my entrance."
Okay, he can have all of that.
My point exactly.
But that doesn't mean that you're going to be world champion. That's Roman Reigns.
But see, here's the thing, though.
But yet you chasing history. You can't chase history and guarantee that you're going to be world champion. No, come on now. Roman just won the World Heavyweight Undisputed Universal Championship. He's going to hold that bitch for another year. Ain't no one gonna stop him. You can't expect Cody Rhodes is gonna come in, swoop in, talk about I want my championship, I want my theme, and I want my clothes, I want my smile, and I want my tattoo. You can't expect
I was just for
that all in 1 year.
I was just for to say that. Let me keep my neck tattoo because I'm not gonna take it off or cover it. I'm not gonna do none of that.
I was being petty.
No, trust me, because
that was the worst thing he could have ever done.
He been getting a lot of criticism about that neck tattoo ever since he first got it.
That neck tattoo really makes my ass itch. I'm so serious.
So then
it makes mine too.
Right,
I think it should have gone on his on his arm. Would have been better.
Let's all okay. Well then let's come together. Let's counteract with the following. Cool. He just got here. Okay, Roman just won the WWE Championship. He's gonna hold the undisputed championship. He's gonna hold it again. Blah 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 blah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't mean to say this, but if Kofi can win the WWE Championship, hold it for very long, and then,
6 months,
and then for Black people, and then lose it to a mega star like Brock Lesnar in a matter of seconds.
Mm-hmm.
What makes you think that Vince can't just say, "All right, everybody, let's change the plans"?
For Roman, the same
yeah.
person he's been trying to get over for the past 10 years.
He gonna trust me. He gonna lose one of them belts. He not.
No. It's not one of them belts. This is
so they really about to unify the belts.
On SmackDown, they're going to unify the belts.
Oh, that's why he was like, get ready for something big coming on SmackDown. Okay.
Probably a brand new belt.
No, they gonna cut the belt in half and just glue them together, and that's gonna be the championship belt.
They probably would, but
they'll cut the belts in half and
I hope
glue them
not.
together,
I hope
and that's gonna be the new
No.
championship belt. That's gonna be the new
Gonna be
belt.
ugly. No.
So
We don't need that.
since we're still on the whole thing of Cody Rhodes, here's something that I have to ask. If everything was done differently, situation-wise,
Mm-hmm.
would you still like Cody then?
I still got my American Nightmare T-shirt.
No.
I still got that.
And then
I mean, because like my whole thing is when he was in AEW, he was trying to keep himself on top. Like that whole thing about him going heel, you know, I was like, I didn't give a fuck if he was going heel or if he was going face. He was becoming stale.
okay,
Yeah, stale.
Chris, all right.
That's why they was
That
booing
is my
him. They was
thing.
booing Brandy.
Pro Wrestling 101.
Mm-hmm.
There's always something called backstage politics. CB, you know what I'm talking about. You can comment at any time.
Mm-hmm.
Backstage politics. Basically, what that means is that they're going to find somebody who's called your fucking money. When they say your money, that means we're going to shoot you to the moon.
Mm-hmm.
That's what Tony Khan did with Cody.
Mm-hmm.
The sad part is, he did it. He really boosted up his head, because now in the backstage politics, you finally have somebody that now that Tony Khan has always tried to one up WWE. Call it how it is.
That's fine. Yeah.
Call it how it is. If you don't like my comment,
But then that's facts.
true. Now, this is where I see things that went downhill. Tony Khan said, "Hey, I want to bring CM Punk." Cody Rhodes, bad idea. Tony Khan, why? Because I want to see younger talent go. I don't want to see any old school, like, if CM Punk is gone, let him stay gone. But then Tony Khan, oh, it's a big name, and I really think that we should do this. All right, let's do a vote. All those who votes for CM Punk to come, and then they all voted unanimously. Now, here's where things get very interesting. The moment CM Punk showed up, you barely saw Cody. The absolute moment that you did not see Cody.
Mm-hmm.
That's true.
When CM Punk showed up, you barely got to see him.
Mm-hmm.
Then that letter happened.
Whoa.
If we were to take that one step further, then you saw him even less when Cole and Danielson came in.
Yeah.
Then that letter happened, and boom. So therefore, he took a leave. He said, "You know what? Cool. I'm out." When was the last time that we saw? When was the last time we saw Chuck Taylor?
Ooh.
When was the last time we saw Trent Beretta?
Mm-hmm.
When was the last time that we saw Christopher Daniels in God knows how long?
Mm-hmm.
You bought Ring of Honor, but yet when was the last time you saw Jay Lethal? Sadly, you're just booking Jay Lethal.
Mm-hmm.
And these were your day one guys in AEW.
Mm-hmm. So, with that being said, matter of fact, I'm gonna bring on the one person that you wanted to come on here, which was Chris Burton. So, Chris, we're having a nice little conversation because, matter of fact, we're about to do Ring of Honor. The Ring of Honor situation.
We can talk about that. I'm sorry. I'm still stuck on this thing about the AE with Cody.
That's fine. We can talk about that.
And CB can actually attest to this because we've both been in the business. The thing of it is, there is a saying, hot dog and a handshake.
Mm-hmm.
That's what Cody got.
So when you say hot dog and a handshake, what do you mean by that?
Now, CM Punk is now the main guy. You're paying him more. You're paying him because he's money. He's the guy everyone talks about. But yet he is an older wrestler.
But he's a veteran.
He's a veteran, yes. But you do not put a veteran on an undefeated streak.
True. That's toxic.
Especially in a young company like AEW.
In a young company
veterans.
Like AEW.
But that goes back to Chris Jericho. That's like saying, like, okay, I'm in a young company, so I'm going to put a belt on a younger talent that's not even recognizable.
Jericho's the day one guy, and you need to have a ring general.
Okay, so what's
CM
the problem?
Punk came later.
Okay, that's on. Okay,
Thus, CM Punk came later. Chris Jericho was a liaison.
okay, I'll take that.
Mhm.
Punk was just the DLC content.
Mm-hmm.
Why do you think Christian barely competes?
Well, I don't even know why Christian was there from the beginning. I think that was
Christian wanted to come because he wanted to say, I can officially wrestle anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't need champion. He never asked for a title.
Mm-hmm.
He never asked for a quote unquote main event spot.
Mhm.
He just wanted to have fun. There's a difference in wrestling when it comes to having fun and being all about championships.
Okay, so the big time names that's there right now, are you saying that they are there to have fun, or are they here to make money?
I'll tell you what. You give me a name. You give me a couple names. Both, because his friends are there. He can have a good stable. He can have a good feud. He's having fun.
FTR.
FTR, dicks.
Dick.
They about that money.
They're about the money.
Especially
Yeah,
Dallas.
yeah, they are.
Two time. It got fun at first because when they what should have happened should have been the feud that everybody wanted. Fuck the Revival.
Yep.
They should have had that feud at first, which is why I said Tony Khan is thinking like a wrestler's fan and not a businessman.
See, Stu, and I want to get on you. I want to piggyback on that, Stu, because I've said this so many times before. Tony Khan, and I said it in the comments, Tony Khan is what happens when you give a wrestling fan a shit ton of money and they own their own company. Now think about this. Let's think about this. You have a wealth of knowledge around you of the wrestling business, how to run the wrestling business, how to set up storylines, how to use talent properly, and how to do other things, i.e., Tony Schiavone, now William Regal, JR, Arn Anderson, who else you got back there?
Think Malenko,
Dean Malenko,
Billy Gunn.
Billy Gunn, JBL.
Barry
You have
Lynn.
all this knowledge. Yeah, you have all this knowledge around you of how to properly run a wrestling company. But no, what do you want to do? You want to be the pencil on 2 damn shows. Why?
That is very questionable. I will say that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that Tony Khan should be running both shows because he barely can run AEW.
Need I remind you of what Christopher Burton just said? He is a wrestling fan with a bunch of money and don't know what to do with it.
So
That's what happens when you got a lot of money.
Hey, trying to wreck it. He's wrecking his money
And
without protecting his money.
And it's not even his money, it's his daddy's money.
Bingo. It's his dad's
Right.
money.
So
Nick Khan is the new Herb Abrams.
So let me ask everybody this and everyone that's watching this podcast. It seems like the main toxicity that's going on in AEW, from what I'm hearing, plus me and Janelle had a conversation about non-disclosure agreements that's going on in AEW as well, which shouldn't be taking place. I think what you're saying is AEW is not going to last too long.
No, it's not.
Not at this rate.
Not at this rate. I'm going to tell you why. Because it is a revenge show.
Revenge show.
It is a revenge promotion. It is a revenge promotion. And the sad part is it's only going to get worse.
Ooh.
Because you have yet to book a lot of your day one guys. Now you're pushing older and well-known talent. But when you should do in a wrestling company, you should be promoting your new talent.
Okay.
Who was the one that
Go ahead, Stu.
to face Adam Page? Who was he?
Say it again.
Hold on. What's the question again?
Who was the superstar in AEW that had an opportunity to face Adam Page for a title, and he did it on, what was it, Dynamite?
That was
Jungle Boy.
Dante Martin, wasn't it?
Dante Martin.
Yeah, Dante
Martin.
yeah.
Why are we now just seeing what Dante Martin can do?
Because of all of the talent. The talent is like over flooded.
And there lies the problem.
It's actually even getting over flooded over in
I mean,
Dark.
we've talked about this.
Dante Martin was a day one guy, though.
Yes, he was.
Mm-hmm.
So now, why haven't we pushed Dante Martin more? I mean, I get it. He's been in the tag team division, but Why haven't we pushed him a little bit more? Pushed him and his brother a little bit more. That's the thing. Instead, we have, and I'm not knocking all these names, all these wonderful names. Bryan Danielson, Jon Moxley, Christian,
I'll lose me at the Christian.
Adam Cole, Bobby Fish, Kyle O'Reilly,
Sting.
Sting only because it's Tony Schiavone. So boom, we'll leave that.
Sting.
Yeah.
And like the list can go on and on. The only people that you're really honestly pushing right now, that's already a day one, Luchasaurus, Jungle Boy, MJF,
Britt Baker,
Darby Allin, Britt Baker,
Jade.
Jay's getting a nice little run though.
Jade is, but she's finally getting her run.
The crazy thing is, he's actually more over as a person.
She's like what, 30-0?
She should have been
29 at least.
And I will say this,
29-0.
and I'll dare say this: Jade, as a wrestler, she's improving so much.
Yeah,
She's been working with Daniel Bryan.
They want to make her the female Goldberg. They trying to.
I'm
That's what they
all
want
for it. I'm all for it.
But Stu, I want to go back to something also you just said about the pushes and why we it took so long to see these people that you just named. It's something that WCW did that they're doing in AEW. It's called creative control. A lot of those stars have it in their contract.
Hence why I said having fun. Because they're having creative control. Now, here's another situation. And WWE, this is one thing that I will always blame WWE for, and that is the Jeff Hardy incident.
Which one?
The one where they called him erratic when he wasn't.
He was on drugs during that house show.
Oh yeah,
and that proved that he was clean. And WWE, their way of apologizing, let's put you in the Hall of Fame. Jeff was like,
damn apology. Is that simple? Issue a goddamn apology. We fucked up. We're sorry. That's it.
Like one thing about Jeff has been trying so hard to stay on that path and stay clean, but yet you be like, nah, he's cool. Nah, he ain't clean. But give him a drug test. Jeff Hardy says no because I know myself. I know my body, and so you don't believe him, and you let him go. You give him a suspension and you let him go and stuff like that. Cool. Keep that same energy. Now they have a lot of egg on their face.
This ain't the first time.
No, it's not the first time that they
remember with Jake the Snake.
Yep.
Okay, look what that led to. Just saying. People don't realize like shit like that can lead a person back to that path.
Yes, I mean because they're doing more harm than good.
Because I did hear about the Jake the Snake issue when right before they said that they put him in the Hall of Fame. Before they put him in the Hall of Fame, he asked them, "Are y'all gonna put me in the Royal Rumble match?" And they said, "No, we're not putting you in the Rumble match. We're putting you in the Hall of Fame." He said that on the year they put him in the Hall of Fame, he asked them, "Are y'all gonna put me in the Royal Rumble match?" Because I guess he wanted to get back in the ring, but they turned him down. Told him no.
The wrestling business is very, very fickle. It
it's
really
very
is.
odd. The one thing that I have noticed that the wrestling business, including its fan bases, is constantly it's evolving, and it's evolving into the wrong direction. I have never seen so much toxicity in one community. I mean, we can sit back and we can talk about the NFL like fans, but they are not as bad as no, because we got the Dallas Cowboys and we got the Bears. And we got
Let's talk about some NBA teams, especially LeBron sexuals.
But my overall point,
Wrestling show.
But overall, I'm just saying, like, I've never seen it this bad, like, with AEW versus WWE. Like on this scale, I mean, we could talk about TNA.
That's what I was gonna say.
NWA, but on this scale, I've never seen it this bad, like ever.
I have.
All right,
on
look.
social media.
That's because look at how many more platforms we have to
Now.
expose all this stuff now. Whereas
Yeah.
if you even go back to the very, very, very beginning of TNA, I was like, what? Yeah, social media was like prevalent then, but nowhere near to what it is now.
Right. Right.
So, but check it on a scale of 1 to Chris Rock getting slapped at the Oscars. What would you give this?
What?
Like
WrestleMania as a whole?
Yeah. From one to on a scale of 1 to Chris Rock getting slapped at the Oscars. What would you give WrestleMania?
From 1 to 10, I will probably give it a I'll give it a solid 7.
I'll give it a Will Smith smacking the reporter that tried to kiss him.
Yeah.
I would give it about a 7.5.
Yeah. WrestleMania, we already knew going in WrestleMania was not going to be that great. But they did try to pull the effort. The whole thing with Vince McMahon coming out there and wrestling was absolutely atrocious.
That stunner.
Just like how he
Worst stunner
ever.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't even say worst stunner
Yeah.
ever. I think worst stunner in the history of niggerdom.
That was the worse stunner than the first one he actually took from Steve.
The first one was he actually took it with grace. I would say that. But this one, he didn't even touch. Like, because Vince already went down before he even wrapped his neck.
Yeah. It's like he kicked him in the gut and he just fell back in the ropes and then he caught him with it.
And that's the problem I have with Vince McMahon. Vince McMahon don't know how to stay the fuck away. He's doing more harm than good. Triple H should take them reins. If Triple H is not wrestling anymore, then he should do the day-to-day operations. I believe that Triple H will do dividends to WWE in the future.
Vince has an
That
ego.
is-
That's up to the shareholders.
But speaking of Vince McMahon, I want to ask everybody here: would you count the Pat McAfee versus Vince McMahon match? Would you count that as a match?
No.
No.
Negative.
No.
Negative.
Because
What
on
about the
the-
Sami Zayn match?
No.
I would count
Johnny
that.
Knoxville.
No.
That
I'm
one
not
would
counting
count.
that.
No.
Because
No.
even Pat McAfee on his talk show, on the Pat McAfee show, everybody just kept saying like, no, I wouldn't consider that a win. I wouldn't consider that an actual match. So his win over Austin Theory, that was the match right there.
Yeah. Yeah.
There was. What about Samoa Joe? We haven't really talked about Samoa Joe on the Supercard show. What do you guys thought about that?
Well, I knew it was gonna happen sooner. It was gonna happen sooner or later. But the thing I got the issue with, why you did not put him on ROH, because you got him on AEW with like 900 other superstars already. So now he's about to be lost in the shuffle.
I thought he was supposed to be on ROH.
No, when
AEW.
ROH get back to their TV network and everything, or whatever their shows and everything, I'm pretty sure they're gonna start putting Samoa Joe on there. But he is signed to AEW because right after Supercard of Honor, it got posted on Twitter. They said Samoa Joe got signed to All Elite Wrestling, so
they're
he's
gonna have it
with
on
them.
Wednesday. Yeah, he'll be on Wednesday night.
He's part of
To
both.
be technical, he's considered part of both.
Yeah.
So
Just like Jonathan Gresham.
I think this whole thing with now looking back at it, and I thank God for Stu's analogy because he is in the business. I just think that this is a mess. This AEW Ring of Honor, this is a mess from hell, and if he needs to put more structure on. And that is why I see where Swole was coming from. Like, there is the diversity is there, but the structure is not there. The structure
It's chaos. It's chaos.
Yes, it's definitely chaos because, as a matter of fact, when they did the behind the scenes, they were just like, it's chaos. And I'm not saying like, go public. I'm not saying that. What you need to do is you need to hire like creative writers, like wrestling fans that are actually, that's in the bit that have the business mindset, because giving creative control to the wrestlers, I mean, it's the pros and cons, but we seen what happened with that in WCW when you give a
But
wrestler
Chris,
control.
that's what I was saying. That's what I was saying, Chris. I mean, okay, look at this for example. If you go back in history and you look at David Crockett Promotions, when Crockett wasn't there, either one of the Crockett's wasn't there, Tony Schiavone ran the show on Saturdays. He did the TV production shows that they had in the studio down in Atlanta. He ran that. Those shows were great. So he's got the knowledge to do that. And that's what I'm saying. Tony Khan is surrounded by knowledge of people who know what to do. But instead, they were like, no, we're just going to accept these checks, keep our mouth shut, because if we take control and something goes bad, I ain't getting fired. I like my little check. I like having my weekends off. I'm going to shut up and sit in the corner and just smile and nod my head. That's what you got. I mean, that's really what you have. You have a wealth of knowledge, but nobody wants to stand up and say anything. They just, I don't know, man. It's just stupid.
Do you think William Regal could run ROH for Tony Khan?
Oh, good God, yes.
I thought he was going to be the GM, but they
Honestly,
put him in a management position.
It's not too
he's
late.
supposed to be doing both.
Because I'll say it like this. I know that the way it sounds that there's a mess going on, but there's also influences that's there that can really, talk to Tony Khan to say, hey, you're going in the wrong direction. You're going in the same direction as WWE, WCW, and what have you. I think that Tony can turn this around because I know that he loves the business just like all of us that's in this room and everyone that's watching. It's just the problem is that I don't want Tony's ego to get way too out of control, like
Herb Abrams.
Yes, because Eric Bischoff can sit back and he can throw all types of shady forecasts and shit. But at the end of the day, you don't have WCW anymore, so you don't really have room to talk about anybody
Chris,
being trash.
It's too late. His ego is already starting to get out of control. I mean, my God, how much did he buy ROH for? A couple of what?
Millions.
Yeah, and you look at ROH. ROH is not worth that much money.
Not anymore.
So you've thrown away a couple of million, and
but you know
thinking,
what?
And you thinking Vince is watching you, and Vince is like, "You idiot! You wasting your money."
No, but you know what?
Are they really wasting money though?
They said they tried to offer Ring of Honor to Vince McMahon too. So the thing was,
I don't believe that.
Both Vince McMahon and Tony Khan put down bids for Ring of Honor, except Tony Khan must have gave the best one. So Vince McMahon, he was given the option to buy Ring of Honor, except Tony Khan had the best bid, and they just gave it to Tony Khan.
But do you honestly think Vince would?
Go ahead.
Do you honestly think that Vince will actually pay anywhere near close to what Tony would for that? Think about that now.
Now, how much did he pay for him or pay for Ring of Honor?
Tony Khan, they said he dropped like about
30 million.
A couple of million. Yeah, 30 million.
About
30 million?
Yeah.
That's $5 to them, bro.
Put it to you this way: Vince didn't do that much when he bought WCW.
Just a different time.
How much he? Because he didn't.
Thank you.
He didn't get too much from WCW, right?
No, but that's a different time though.
Yeah.
Vince wanted, the main reason he bought WCW, he wanted that library.
The library.
Yeah, he wanted that library. That's why he paid what he
for
paid.
The library, right? Because he said, I mean, like without like TV production, like WCW was only worth like 5 cents.
Mm-hmm. But he just wanted the library,
I
man.
remember
He
Eric
wanted that
Bischoff
history.
saying that. I remember Eric Bischoff saying that he was like, WCW was going to be worth nothing. Like the TV production, the library, and everything like that. But like I said, they gave him the option. I guess he didn't put down enough.
Yeah. Hold on, y'all. Any of y'all game show fans?
Huh?
Are any of y'all game show fans?
Depends.
Not really, but I mean,
I'll tell you where, because I'll tell you pretty much what Vince wound up doing. You know how on Price is Right, somebody makes a bid and then somebody else bids the $1.
The $1. Yup.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. In this case, yeah.
Tony Khan did that. Yeah.
Yeah. Tony Khan bid the $1, and then guess what? He pretty much got like a let's make a deal zonk. Because Vince is like, now you can have that one.
Yeah, I mean, because you got to think too. Sinclair Broadcasting owns how many TV stations? A couple of 100,000 or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
ROH was with them. Now, if Sinclair had so much stroke in the TV business, why did they put ROH #1 on such a late time frame, and then on a channel that really not too many people possibly can get?
Because they didn't care about the product. That was shown like time and time again. They just did not care about the product.
I'm trying to find Cody Rhodes promo.
Man, they used to play Ring of Honor like twice a day. Like Ring of Honor, the new episode would come on like at 9:00, and then the old episode would come on the next morning and stuff like that. I was like,
hey, I don't got Sinclair
now
New York, so I can't watch it.
See, that's what I'm saying. So Tony, if he was smart, he needs to get on with some kind of streaming service.
I think he was smart. I think they were talking about the HBO streaming service.
Yeah, he needs to get on a streaming service.
Mark my words, by the end of this year, that shit is happening.
But then it also goes back. It also goes back. Like you can get the streaming services, you can get the library of Ring of Honor. But I think where I'm having an issue is that Tony Khan needs to be checked. At the end of the day, I think he needs to be checked. Someone needs to look over him because I believe, in my eyes, he's making some bad decisions.
His dad's accountants were trying to keep him in check on how much money he's spending. Because granted, his dad give him a lump sum of money and be like, okay, this is your lump sum of money. You can go play with your toy, i.e. the wrestling business, and make decisions. But his dad is also a very shrewd businessman. He's going to be like, look now, son, you got my name attached to this thing too. Now, he's like, my name's attached to this thing too. If this ship go down, you going to make my name look bad. I ain't having that.
I mean,
and daddy going to step in at some point.
I mean, he ain't looking bad now. I mean, because right now AEW is one of the highest promotions out there right now. However,
but you see what I'm saying, though.
Yeah, I see what you're saying, but it's not going to last that long because right now they're in the 3-year mark right now, and what they've been doing has been awesome. But all of the side deals and all of the people walking away, because right now the latest was Cody Rhodes. We don't know who's going to be next because the wrestlers can easily go back to WWE. However, they know
Jericho is next.
WWE's training or the work schedule is very demanding. That's another reason why I asked why did Cody Rhodes go back to WWE, knowing that the work schedule is very demanding.
They did say somebody else was supposed to be leaving AEW.
Chris Jericho.
It's two more people that I heard.
Jericho?
Jericho.
One of them is Marco Stunt. He's about to leave.
Trash.
His contract didn't get renewed.
But he's going to go do the voice. That's why he's not basically coming back.
Yeah. Next. Who else?
It's another person. They keep saying his name. I forgot the damn dude's name.
On Ring of Honor,
he wrestled John Moxley when AEW first started.
Joey
Janela already gone.
Yep.
No, Joey Janela.
Joey Janela. He about to leave too.
But he's so deep into fucking GCW, he's hoping to fucking get with WWE. But do you honestly think they're gonna take this nigga?
No, I mean because Johnny Janela is not. I mean, he's like a hardcore wrestler. I mean, I don't think the WWE is really looking for that. And besides, and then on top of that, WWE like their priorities keep shifting. Number one, they said that they want younger talent, but then yet they get Cody Rhodes.
Which reminds me, speaking of Cody Rhodes, if you can,
sure.
I sent this video link. This is a gimmick that could have been really good with no. It's in the private chat.
Okay.
I want people to take a look at Cody Rhodes, at what he wanted to do for WWE.
So what you
play the video?
I can play a video right here.
You should.
Okay. All right, y'all. Let's watch this video real quick.
Hopefully it works.
Sweet.
It don't work. Oh shit.
Oh wait a minute.
Wait a minute.
Actually, you know what? This is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna share the video real quick. So just give me a moment. Share my video. Just let me know when you guys see it.
Oh, right.
See my screen?
Okay.
Okay.
See everything.
Yeah. Okay. All right, hold on.
Full screen?
Full screen.
You down there? To the right. Give me the damn back. It's right there by the no. The volume thing. Right there. On the damn video.
You still going?
No!
Sure.
Go to left.
Oh, left.
Jesus Christ. Go
Oh,
left.
shit. Okay. Man, you
No,
would say that.
Oh,
Man, goddamn it. And now you fucked up. Give me sick. Okay.
No, okay. Hey. Now, all right. The arrow. The 2 arrows.
How many men does it take to figure out the operator video?
This is crazy.
All right. Now yeah. Under there. No, next beside it.
This one?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Now turn on the volume.
Okay, can you guys see my can you see
Yeah, you have to unmute it though. You have to unmute it.
All right, I'm about to play.
You have to unmute the video.
Unmute the video, Chris.
Unmute it?
Unmute.
Yeah. Didn't do that.
This is
See?
live.
Now you gotta go all the way back.
Hold on.
It's crazy. There you go. Turn it all the way up.
Okay.
Let's listen.
Okay.
You know that John Cena claims that 71% of the revenue made off WWE merchandise solely comes from him. And WWE staff hopefully is not naive enough to think supply is created from demand, because it's not like you go to a WWE live event, oh, that's right, and you see 7 John Cena t-shirt options and only 1 Cody Rhodes option. That has nothing to do with supply nor demand. It has nothing to do with jealousy. It's about reality.
For those of you who may be uninformed, I'm Eden. You know, my baby. Arguably the hardest working man in this entire company. However, he still does not have a tour bus. Rey Mysterio shows up maybe 10, 15 days out of the year, and he has a beautiful tour bus. Where's our tour bus? Cody Rhodes is practically a diplomatic icon in Egypt. He is an international superstar. However, my baby still rides coach. Hello? What are we missing here? He's not some indie dog. Cody Rhodes is the heir to the Rhodes dynasty. All I know is this. For the past 8 years, we've been hearing that Cody Rhodes, that my baby, is the future of WWE. Well, the future began the moment I opened my mouth. And when I opened my mouth, I in turn opened your eyes. Didn't I?
Really?
Yeah.
Get out.
Wow.
Get out. Get out. She's in the fucking place. Get out.
Let's have a conversation about this.
What in the blue?
Hey, Chris.
You just watched?
Friendliest shit.
I have a question for Chris.
Yes.
I made a thing on the comments you didn't answer was because you posted something that said that that Cody and Brandy ended racism. How is that?
It's a joke.
It was a joke,
It's an
honey.
inside
It
Oh,
was
okay.
a joke. Yes. I don't think. I hopefully you humans don't believe what I said was actually true. I mean, yeah. Okay. So let's talk about the video. The video.
The video. Yes.
That's the first time I've ever seen it.
Yeah, first of all, that damn music, man.
My baby.
Hey, Dan,
my
what's up?
baby.
Love my baby.
Rey Mysterio only worked like 15 days out of the year, and he has a beautiful tour bus.
Oh my God.
John Cena, you go to a WWE live event, there's about all these John Cena shirts, but there's no Cody Rhodes shirts.
Oh man, not Cody.
That was the same thing I saw at AEW.
Well,
When
this
AEW
weekend,
when
WWE.
AEW did a show here in Milwaukee, and I was there. They only had like about 5 different AEW shirts and only one CM. And the only shirt they was mostly selling was CM Punk. That was the only shirt they was selling was CM Punk.
Wow.
They had nothing else. They had they had DVDs, belt buckles, about 5 different AEW T-shirts with like 2 different colors and all these different ways and logos and everything like that. And the only T-shirt they was mostly selling was CM Punk.
So let me ask you this: while we're talking about this, and then we gotta kind of wrap it up a little bit because we gotta clean up the house real quick. The last, matter of fact, we just hand this over to. Okay. So our last discussion is CM Punk. And then we'll continue on our Thursday show. As a matter of fact, as soon as I get off the plane and when I'm home, me and you, Jaquez, we'll figure out what's going on with your stream. So with the CM Punk situation, because it seemed like this is a blessing and a curse for AEW. CM Punk has said numerous times that he's going to be the future world champion. Is this a good thing or a bad thing?
Good thing. I like it.
Stewie?
Good thing.
He can. I would definitely like to see CM Punk as world champion, but at this point right now, they need to give that chance to somebody else. At this point right now, because
I think Sammy Guevara's probably too young for it.
Oh no. Oh no.
He too busy dicking down Ty Conti. He too busy.
Not that that's bad. It's not a bad thing at all.
I think the one person that they're missing is MJF. MJF
does he need a title though?
Why?
He doesn't need
As
a title.
world champion?
I don't see MJF as world champion just yet.
Why not?
No.
There's a lot of grooming and growing to do.
He's got his mindset on WWE.
No, he doesn't. That's all the work. Chill out.
He's just trying to piss y'all off.
MJF is doing his job as a heel. However, he still has some more grooming to do. His first major real feud, to me, honestly, against a veteran, is CM Punk. One down, many more feuds to go.
Well, wait. Don't forget the one with Chris Jericho.
He did feud with Cody.
He's taking out Cody, he's taking out Jericho, and he's taking out Punk.
I mean, that's fine. But
what about Danielson?
Nah, that didn't happen yet.
That hasn't happened yet.
No, I mean to be next.
As a champion? No.
No.
Let me
I
tell you.
want to see what him and Moxley can do as a tag team.
Hold on. This is what pisses me off with a lot of wrestling fans. Stop relying on older talent that has already been in the game.
I know, right?
Right.
That part.
Stop it. This is why a lot of wrestling communities are toxic. Fuck Daniel Bryan as a champion. Fuck CM Punk as a champion. Fuck all the old veterans as a champion. Bring in the new guys. That's why I am so glad that Hangman won the title.
But even though Hangman is kind of dry, I mean, I'm sorry, but I'm not seeing
matches ain't.
I'm not seeing any cowboy shit. Like his promos are trash.
His promos,
but
his matches ain't.
His ring in ability, great. I have no problem with that.
And they're like,
What about Scorpio Sky versus?
Love him.
Not yet.
Against
love him, but he's not champion material. He's not world champion material yet.
He good with that TNT championship. That's good enough.
What?
I love your glory though.
What does Page have that makes him championship material that MJF and Scorpio Sky don't have?
You said Ethan Page?
No, Hangman.
Hangman, he's asking.
Hangman Page, the way that they built him up, storyline wise, I'm a firm fan of good fashion storylines.
Oh yeah.
As far as Scorpio Sky is concerned, keep him in the TNT, TBS. Yeah.
Yeah, that TNT championship is good enough.
It's good enough for him. And then not only that, he's the undisputed. And then not only that, he's the first black TNT champion.
That's facts.
So Scorpio Sky can stay right where he is because he's making history.
Yes, he is.
Scorpio Sky can stay there because he's making black history. And I dare anybody on WCC to argue me about black history in wrestling.
No, it's not about WCC. I think this is just like, wrestling fans as a whole.
No, because I'm gonna say it. Too many, and I can say this because it's podcast. Too many fucks rely on so much shit that they do not understand what it means to actually grab the brass ring. I don't care. Danielson is having fun with his mentor, William Regal. He's not going for that world championship anytime soon because he's having fun with Regal and John Moxley.
You don't need it.
Who else? CM Punk. I stop pushing CM Punk because it's CM fucking Punk. Stop pushing him. But Tony Khan's gonna do what he's gonna do what he wants.
I have a feeling that CM Punk is going to basically stay in AEW for the next year and then convert over to ROH.
He's gonna. But guess what? I will be happy with that.
Me too.
And then he retires as ROH.
Need all of the talent, all the shine in the world. If it's going to be two brands, that's fine. I'm good with that.
As long as we can get two matches that I'm wanting to see, is just Samoa Joe, CM Punk, running back.
Yeah, man.
And of course, the Octopus versus the American Dragon.
Which one?
I need that. The Octopus versus the American Dragon.
I need that.
Yes.
I need that.
Okay. All right.
You don't hurt my feelings.
I'm not.
Okay.
I'm not.
I'm watching you.
I want it to happen too, but it has to be booked in a way that it makes sense. It has to make sense.
So the Octopus got to kind of go through some opponents first.
It's not even that. Grisham can do a. If I was the booker or if I was the owner, open challenge to anybody that wants to, that's former world champion, come out. Let's have a match. Boom. Let's say he faces Joe.
Ooh.
He beats Joe. He faces Dalton Castle. He loses to Dalton Castle. He beats Dalton Castle. Jay Lethal. He beats Jay Lethal.
So basically all of the ROH veterans.
Until the moment comes where he says, nobody can beat the Octopus. And then Final Countdown hits. And then the promo of the century the Octopus versus the American Dragon.
That would be dope.
That would be dope.
I would love that.
The only thing is, as soon as you was mentioning that, I started to get the wheels turning a little bit. Isn't Wheeler Yuta supposed to be getting scouted by the Blackpool Combat Club?
Yeah.
Supposedly, yeah.
Wheeler Yuta just beat somebody from the Foundation, correct?
Yeah. Yeah, he won the pure title from Josh Woods.
Well, we get a little, Foundations versus Black, well, if that happens down the line, you can actually compare that. You can get that somehow going on. I still want to see, what's his name?
We can leave now. Everybody, thank you so much. I appreciate you guys coming on here. But yes, I will probably be back
This is what we'll do.
Okay.
I'm officially joining Heels for Life.
Okay. All right.
Let's shoot for Thursday.
Well, no. Yeah, that's my podcast for
Well, we'll figure it out.
But actually,
You
you
come through.
Yeah, you come through. But then we gotta work on his stream and shit. Okay, so officially, he's probably hashtag Heels for Life again. So just want to let you know.
Oh.
So what we'll do, we'll come back on Thursday on StreamYards and we'll revisit this conversation. So until that time, Kenya, Rockin' Reese, Christian, and Jaquez and Chris Byrne, thank you guys so much for coming on here. Wish us good luck while we go back to our cities. This time, I am your host, Mr. Team Bring It. This is hashtag Heels for Life, and we'll see you guys later. Have a good night, everybody.
Yeah.
Peace.
Hey.